Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Well, Hurricane Dorian, as you can see behind me here, it did what I was afraid of. It got really close to the shore before it started making a turn. And so now, and I'll show you here in a bit, the eye wall, which is where the strongest winds are, your hurricane force winds, are affecting the coast. And I was really afraid that was going to happen. Let's go ahead and get over here to the specifics. It's back down to Cat 2, and we talked about that last night. I kind of figured it would start weakening down, and one of the reasons is because it is moving into cooler waters, so it's just automatically going to start dropping in strength. So it's down to 110 on the mile per hour winds, 958 millibars on the pressure, so it's still pretty decent as far as strength. And northeast at 8 miles per hour. Yes, I do have the frying pan webcam on there, and we'll keep an eye on that as it gets closer to it. That's up there off the coast, North Carolina. There has been all kinds of tornado warnings since last night. There was actually, before I fell asleep last night, or wee hours of the morning, there was one reported on the ground in South Carolina. Now, Myrtle Beach hasn't been hit yet with a tornado, but they've been popping up all around. At this point, I don't have any tornado warnings on the board, but there has been a bunch of them. So, let's see here what I want to show you. There's no sense in looking at the models at this point. This thing's about 60 miles south of Myrtle Beach. And let's go ahead and go to the radar. Now, this radar, this is off of the Charleston, because right now it's the closest radar to it. And you can see the eye wall here, the hurricane storm force winds. They are really affecting that coast right now. And as we talked about last night, Charleston at 1 o'clock in the morning dealt with high tide. Now, high tide is up right now. It should be starting its downswing. But still, they've got high tide right now, and they've got this tremendous storm surge. Could be as much as 8 feet at Myrtle Beach. Now, I do have several chasers that's north and south of Myrtle Beach, but none of them are live streaming right now. If I get a notification they go live, I'll let you know. Hey, I'm glad you survived. Now, remember what I've been telling you. When these winds start really coming out of the east, which they are further north, that's going to really push those waters inland. No. Last beacon, I've got Jen down there by Charleston yet. I don't know if she's on the move. I don't know if her beacon's live. I don't see her right now. She may have a hard time getting up there because I talked to her in the wee hours of the morning. Oh, Koch is streaming? Where's he streaming at? On Twitch? Well, why didn't I get notification? checking my notifications here. Yeah, I should. I should have him. Let me see if I can find him. Huh, that's weird. I don't have him anymore. Let me see if I can find him here and see what he's looking at. Could somebody post a link for his stream? Because I'm not finding him, and I know I had him. Thank you. Gotta wait for the commercial, and then I'll bring it up. See what he's seeing. Oh, he's headed for Cape Fear. Cool. Okay, there he is. I got him followed now. I don't know what happened because I know I had him. Hey, thanks for the sub. Appreciate that. Nice tier 1 sub. Use all that I can get. I got him refollowed now, but we'll wait till a little bit later and check up on him, see how he's doing. I haven't heard him on Zello at all, but sometimes he does that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the code. The models at this point, it's beyond. We know what it's going to do now, but yeah, I know. I did talk to Jennifer in private last night to make sure she was okay. As you can see on the cone here, this is the path that it's going to go. And you can see here the orange, that is the hurricane force winds, and that's already inland. I mean, Charleston's getting part of it, Mount Pleasant, and it's going to stay this way all the way up the coast. Now, I still think it's going to make landfall up there at Cape Hatteras and the Outer Banks. Thanks everybody for joining me. That's just chiming in. As you can see there at the ticker on the bottom of your screen, it has dropped down from last night back down to a Cat 2. Winds at 110, and it's moving north-northeast at 8 miles per hour. So thank goodness it changed direction last night. I noticed last night on my last broadcast that it slowed down to 7, and that was a sign for me that it was going to try to turn. But it took it a long time to turn, and what happened was it put this center closer to the shore. So now they're totally getting affected by the storm force winds. The hurricane force winds, excuse me. Trying to do too many things. Now, I still don't have any tornado warnings, but this thing has produced a whole bunch of tornadoes. And here's the latest radar. This is out of Charleston. It's closest to the eye. Do I have anybody watching that's in South Carolina or North Carolina? Please chime in the chat and let me know. From what I've been hearing for the last several hours, all these places, South Carolina and North Carolina, Hey, Rippy over on YouTube. Uh, they've been preparing since like Sunday. Now, that was the only good thing that came out of it stalling out over the Bahamas. And like I say, it's the only good thing is because they give everybody else up the coast more time. They give them an extra 40 so hours to start getting ready. So everybody should be evacuated in their shelters. Uh, when I talked to Jen uh, real late, well, it was kind of wee hours of the morning. Like I said, I talked to her in private and made sure she was okay. She was getting ready to bed down last at that time, and but she said the roads were horrendous just trying to get up to Charleston, and naturally she couldn't get down in Charleston. The bridges were closed. It's a low-lying area. You get down into Charleston during an event like this, you get stuck down there for a while. So Charleston is still getting hit, but not as bad as they did hours and hours ago, and even overnight when they had high tide. So high tide is even affecting like Morehead City there in North Carolina, and just anywhere all up along that coast. Plus, they're got the storm surges. Now the death toll has gone up. Last I seen, it's 25 people, and last night. Oh, was you, Becky? Cool. I forget what time it was. Well, it was 13 hours ago when I talked to her. I hollered for you in private so you could let her know, but finally she answered in private. And I told her that Charles was already there. Don't worry about Charleston. She wasn't going to be able to get down in there anyway. Becky, is she going to stream? I know they were having issues yesterday. Yeah, it was me, Becky. I didn't know if you was still awake or not. But that's okay. I got a hold of her and give her the information and found out she was okay. And she said, well, everybody was talking Charleston. I said, well, if you could have got up there a little sooner, yeah. But I said, at this time, it's too late to hit for Myrtle Beach. Okay, she's going to try to stream when she stops if she can. I know she was having issues because her husband Brady got a hold of him because I've got some of the same equipment that she's using. So let's go back to that frying pan webcam. And it's froze right at the moment. Okay, she's going to Lumberton. Cool. I don't see her beacon, so you might want to get her, turn her beacon on so we can keep track of her. Okay, there we got it. Again, this is off of North Carolina. Oh, okay. Now this thing is going to steadily weaken, but the storm surge, I mean Myrtle Beach, up to 8 feet on top of high tide. Good. If she took the interstate. Maybe that's the reason why I'm not seeing her beacon. I'm zoomed in. But like I've been telling you for the past week, these outer bands will produce quick spin up tornadoes, and there has been several confirmed. I even seen video from somebody I won't mention of one that crossed the road right in front of him. So tornadoes is still a risk on these outer bands. So is there anybody that's watching my stream that's in North Carolina or South Carolina that hasn't chimed in yet? I want to see how you're doing. Now here's a look at the radar. Now this will be off of Wilmington, North Carolina. It doesn't show the eye near as well, but it does show these outer bands. Oh, cool. Some storm surge pictures. Wish you could share them in the chat. That'd be kind of cool to see. Virginia Beach. Yeah. Hang tight. It's coming. Slowly. But thank goodness this thing finally made its turn. Let me go ahead and play the loop on this. I gotta load it up here. Load the history up on it. It won't let you send them here in the chat, but you got me on Facebook or Messenger. You could go ahead and send them there, and when I get them, I'll share them. Now, as just search for B Gray WX on Facebook. B Gray WX. It's the same thing as here. Same thing as YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, Rippy and anybody else that's over on YouTube, as of October 1st, I will no longer be streaming on YouTube. So please join us over here on Twitch. We have a lot more people in the chat over here anyway. But because of some issues with YouTube, they've got me torqued off, deleting a lot of my videos, banning one that I was playing elevator free music, and they banned it. So I'm not dealing with them anymore. Twitch is so much better anyway. Yeah, they changed their logarithms. Me and my son was talking about that. Hey, Patty. Hey, you're not too late. About 30 minutes. Or no. I started streaming about 10 after. So you haven't missed a whole lot. And we'll cover this more and more. But, yeah, they changed their logarithm over on YouTube. And a lot of people aren't getting notifications. I got way over 800 followers over there. And, people are complaining they're not getting notifications anymore. YouTube has decided they'll send out notifications for the people they want you to watch. So I'm going to try to leave the stream up. I may step away from time to time, but at this point, I'm going to go ahead and leave the stream up for the rest of the day, unless I got to reboot. Again, for everybody just joining me, here's a live look at the satellite and the radar. switch the satellite over to visible. It'll take a little bit to load up. But this is the latest information as of 2 o'clock. You can see it's 2:31 on the clock. Cat 2 winds at 110, pressure 958, and thank goodness it's moving north-northeast. But 8 miles per hour, and it waited too long. Okay, I'll check them out here in a bit. It waited too long before it made this north-northeast turn. I wish it would go northeast, and it should. It should, eventually. But now the eye is too close to shore, so now instead of just tropical storm force winds, they're getting hurricane force. Now let's take a look. Here's a satellite view, and we'll take a look at it here. Remember, and I'm going to pause this. For one, look at that eye. It's really trying to clear itself out. But remember last night, hey Slayer, I was talking about and showing the radar, and all of the outer bands were hugging the coast and not going inland, and that was due to dry air. Well, look what's happened here. This is water vapor. Just like I figured it would, the outer bands has actually put moisture into that dry air. It's actually broken it up. You can see that brown is not totally down the left side of it. And so now it's allowed the rainfall and the outer bands to go more inland. And I pretty much figured it was going to do that. But that's the reason why yesterday and last night, a lot of the places inland that were expected to get some tremendous rain wasn't getting them, and that's the reason why. The dry air kept that left side or west side cut off, and so only along the coast was getting it. Yeah, Charleston's still getting nailed, but if you look at the satellite view, here's Charleston. So they're getting these winds now are coming out of the north. So that's going to help them, because as these winds circle around that eye, it's going to start pushing all that flooding out to sea instead of into the harbor. It's going to try to empty the harbor, and that will allow those two rivers to drain out. So it's going to start getting better now that the eye is straight east of them. Oh, I see we got a tornado warning in North Carolina. How about we take a look at that? Switch radar sites. Now, we've been getting all kinds of these quick spin ups, and there's been several that are confirmed. Earlier, I was told that there was 17 tornado reports today. So there's been a little bit more than that now. So here it is. Now I got this loaded. We'll slide it. Remember, greens go towards the radar, reds go away from the radar. So you can see here where, whoops, oh, the next scan had disappeared. So I'll back up a scan. Okay, right here. This is a quick spin up. Check for debris. I do have a little bit of a possible debris signature right there where it's not all purple. Let's check that with velocity. It's right in the same place where the red and green was together. So in correlation coefficient, or as we say, CC, which shows us anything but round objects. So any debris that's not round, it's going to show it. Now, it's not a real strong signature, but there was a quick touchdown right there. And you could see this hook right there. It would have been rain wrapped. So there you can see there's the velocities, green going towards the radar, red going away. And this is Morehead City, North Carolina radar site. And this is about 2,700 feet, a little over. And then when I look at the CC, there is debris. So apparently it has touched down. Yeah, you're probably going to get that much rain up there in Virginia Beach. So there again, there's the satellite view. I'll go ahead and put it in motion. Take a little bit for it to reload. Now these pink areas up here in the upper right, that's tornado watch box. And all these little boxes that popping up, the pink ones that are popping up, those are tornadoes that were reported on the ground. The red ones are tornado warnings. The greens is flash flooding. And those light blue ones, and you'll notice they're off the coast, that's small marine warnings. But anybody would be nuts to be out there on a boat. So again, I'm going to go back and show you the information to a LumaWipe. And there's the latest information. Now they are given small updates. Hey Ken, about every hour, but the next major update would 5 o'clock. Hey Ken, you need to switch over to Twitch, man, because as of October 1st, I will no longer be streaming on YouTube. So please get signed up over on Twitch and come over and join the other 50 people that's watching me. So there's your latest information, folks, as of 2 o'clock. Now here at 3 o'clock, I'll get an adjustment, maybe. But the last 2 hours, nothing's changed. Yes, it's a good possibility the eye is actually going to make landfall up there at Hatteras. It could actually hit Southport. It's still going north-northeast instead of northeast. So it's headed right for Southport and Hatteras and the Outer Banks. It will be pretty much dead by the time it gets up to Canada. Well, it's going to go up to the Nova Scotia area. Oh, really, Ken? Well, you're good to go for now. Ken, if you come to your Twitch and just lower your quality of what you're viewing, you can lower that down and it'll take up less bandwidth. So let's go ahead and take a look at the cone. Oh, I didn't have the. That's the frying pan tower. That's about 30 miles out to sea. Those flashing colored boxes, those are tornado warnings that are popping up. And like I say, the pink ones that's popping up, those are Tor R, which means it's a reported tornado on the ground. The red ones popping up are tornado warnings. Any of the green ones you see popping up, those are flash flood warnings. And the light blue ones are small marine warnings. Actually, it works. The Twitch app works pretty good uh, on my phone. Oh, really, Ken? Ken's over on YouTube, by the way. If you haven't figured it. I have a Samsung Galaxy J7, and which works good on it. Anyway, let's go back and look at the cone. This is the latest cone. Slide that into place here. And you can see if it was to stay on the center line, it's going to hit these outer banks up here. But irregardless, this dark orange, that's hurricane force winds. That's how broad it is now. And all up the coast is going to get hit with those kind of winds. Now, if we zoom out on this, you can see, and this is one of the cones, longest cones I have ever seen. So you can see here where it's headed. And by the time it gets all the way up here, it'll only be a Cat 1 as of right now. So it's going to get caught up in the jet stream when it gets that far up to the northeast, and it'll start swinging it around. Now, if it holds together as a tropical storm or depression, England will get it because it'll curve right back down. And I've seen this happen several times that the hurricanes or tropical storms on our side of the ocean will go north, get caught up in the jet stream, and the jet stream swings it right back down towards Ireland, England, Germany, France, even Spain sometimes. Yeah, they might get it up there in Greenland. Let me zoom this back out on the page and zoom it in so it's easier for you to see. That is the longest cone I think I've ever seen. So let's take a look at those storm surge video or pictures that was sent to me. Hey, Sean. Okay, I don't see them on my regular Facebook. Did you post them to Messenger? Those pictures at Myrtle Beach of the storm surge? Where'd you post them at? I don't see them on my Facebook. That was a funny article. Florida man puts his smart car. I don't know if you guys has ever seen one, but smart cars are like really small. They're like go karts with bodies on them. He put it in his kitchen so it wouldn't blow away in the hurricane. He must have some really big doors to get that car in his kitchen. They are really tiny cars. It's crazy. In my visitors post, on the weather page or my personal. Okay, that's the weather page. I'm not seeing them. Oh, I've seen some crashes with those smart cars. Oh my God. Be safer on a motorcycle. I'm looking, well, maybe it's in my inbox. Yeah, I'm not seeing them there either. And it's not in my notifications. It should be. John, where you headed to? I seen you up there by Indy. On the notifications. Oh, you're headed for Columbus. Go get your truck. What's your first name, Seven? Oh, okay. First name's Mark. Oh, wow. Look at those waves. I remember seeing that pier before. It's pretty high up. Oh, you won't get your truck till tomorrow or the next day? That sucks. So what are you gonna do? Stay there in Columbus, or you gonna do another short? That's some awesome pictures, man. And that's way before it even got there. That's got to be from an outer band pushing winds in. That is awesome. So anyway, if you're just joining me, thank you for joining. Here's your latest information. And I should be getting some new information for the 3 o'clock here pretty quick. Look at those waves on that cam. Yeah, there's been tons of tornado warnings in the wee hours of the morning. There was one reported on the ground in South Carolina. Just missed Myrtle Beach. Hey, armchair. I figured you was lurking out there somewhere. Oh, okay, Sean. Hey, Branding Iron. Look at some of those waves, and this is up in North Carolina. It hasn't even got up there yet. So yeah, Emerald Isle got it. There's been a bunch that's been confirmed. And a little bit ago, I was, hey Drew, I was showing the last one, and it had debris signature on it. Don't think it hit anything major because the signature was pretty light. No, it hasn't hit land, but it's so close to the coast that the eye wall is actually causing damage. So the coast is getting hurricane force winds right now. I'll post a link, folks, for this webcam. I'm actually watching on YouTube instead of their site. There's a link to that webcam. Yeah, it's been very crazy, very crazy. It's been one of the most unpredictable ones that I've ever worked with, and I've worked on quite a few hurricanes over the years, but it's been mainly is the models has been having trouble figuring out the steering factors, uh, the factors that actually was going to steer it. You know, the different high pressure systems, where they was, the low, the upper level low when it first went to Cat 1. And after it got past and north of Puerto Rico, then the models was just having a hard time figuring out, you know, where the high to the east was going to go, where the upper level low that was to the west of it, where it was going to go. When it stalled out over the Bahamas, what happened was there was the Bermuda high that was trying to shove it up, and there was a high in the Gulf that was trying to shove it down. So it stalled out. It was fighting those two high pressure systems on either side of it, till finally one weakened out. And then another factor another factor that's been happening over the last few days has been there's a trough from a low that affected me here in Ohio. And what a trough is when the jet stream dips down, and it's associated with low pressure to the north of it. So now the jet stream is coming down and going to shoot up the east coast. So that's what's kind of grabbing it and pulling it up to the northeast right now. Now, if that high pressure that's off to the west of it, it's expected, according to the models that I looked at early this morning, that high pressure should droop down and kind of get under it. That's when it should have a chance to go northeast instead of northeast. So we got two steering factors right now. We got the high that's off to the east of it, and then we got this jet stream that's going to be running up the coast. Hey, Ham. By the way, Ham, over there on YouTube, as of October 1st, I will no longer be streaming on YouTube. So if you can, come over to Twitch. Yeah, as Patty said, come meet the family. We got a lot of people over here on Twitch. Might as well come on over. I still have it about 60 miles due south of Myrtle Beach right at this time. And nothing has changed on the 3 o'clock advisory. It's still 110 mile per hour Cat 2. Pressure still at 958, and it's still moving northeast at 8. We want it to go northeast, not northeast. Hey, thanks for the bits. I appreciate that. Thanks, Becky. Yeah, I haven't got a chance to check the hurricane hunters. Some of you don't bite. Hey, Becky bites. You got to watch her. She gets out that hammer and don't want to make Becky mad. She'll get you. I stay far enough away from her. Hey, thanks for the bets. I appreciate that. Every little bit helps me to be able to keep coming to you. And for everybody that's joined me, that's found out about me during this hurricane, this is not all I do. I don't just stream hurricanes. I will live stream a show that I call Behind the Scenes, and it's me helping the Storm July Storm Chasers. Thanks, Brandon Iron. And that way you get both sides of the story. So if you ever follow one of our storm chasers when I'm helping them, you can watch their stream and you can watch mine using multi-stream, and that way you get both sides of the story. You can see me running radar, and I explain as I go. I like to teach everybody so everybody knows what I'm seeing and so they can understand. So when the storm season kicks back in again later this fall, most likely, maybe some far and few between, I will be live streaming my behind the scenes. I had the voice behind the scenes. Yeah, before I started streaming, when I was helping Kelly and Randy, there was people in this chat. Who's that talking in the background? Is that God? It's like, no, it's just me. And it's amazing. I still have people, like last night, somebody that watches Nathan Moore, which is the boss man of Stormview Live. Hey, is that the voice I hear on Nathan's stream? And it's like, yeah, it's little old me. Yeah, that flag's getting hammered. Just wait. As this thing gets closer, there won't be nothing left of that flag. When I watched this before, during a hurricane, that flag steadily just started getting shredded until there was nothing left. And of course, the camera went out not long after that. Hippie Jesus. No, I'm just an old Indian. Now here's some video highlights that they've gotten. Again, if anybody is just joining me, thank you for coming. Cat 2, 110 miles per hour wind, 958 millibars, northeast at 8 miles per hour. And the camera's froze, but that's the latest frame before it froze. I really do appreciate the bits and the subs and the direct donations. All right, Sean, buddy. We'll catch you later. For all of you that doesn't know who S. Gray WX is, you might be able to guess just by the name. That's my son. He's a truck driver. He's also a storm chaser when he's not in the truck. So we can go ahead and take a look at the radar again. Here's the radar out of Wilmington, North Carolina. You can see how these outer bands are coming in into shore. And let's switch down to Columbia. I used to be a trucker. Actually, Sean is third generation. My father was a trucker. I used to drive truck. And now my son. So, as you can see, the eye here, these real bright colors at the edge of the eye, that's the hurricane force winds. That are hitting that coast. Yeah, let's send out for pizza, Becky. I can only eat one or two slices because it hurts my stomach. I ate some La Rosa's spaghetti last night. Ate too much of it. I was eating Tums all night. Pour me up. Go ahead and put this in motion. Should be loaded up now. So Myrtle Beach looks like they're getting northeast winds right now. Let's go down here to Charleston. It's closer to the eye. Now, the reason why you can only see the left side of the eye is the radar beam doesn't reach out that far. But what I can do is I can show you a culmination of all the coastal radars. I'll load up all the frames and then I'll switch it over for you to see. That radar site, that's off of Charleston. Okay, this is GR Earth. Now this is showing you a composite of all the radar sites. And so you can get a better look at these outer bands that's reaching into Raleigh. That part north looks like Williamton is getting one of the outer bands. Yeah, I forgot to take my Nexium last night, and so I eat that spaghetti. Oh my gosh, tore me up. Hey, thanks for the follow. Anybody that's just joining me, if you haven't done it yet, please hit that follow button. Yeah, it was a sauce, but it was so good. I got 2 bowls of it, and yeah, it was a mistake, but it was good at the time. Yeah, right now it's headed right for Southport, moving north northeast. It's going to make landfall up there unless it changes. Oh, did you get through it, Branding Iron? Hey, Branding Iron, have you ever watched Nico? He's got that full motion simulator. Ah, cool media. Yeah, he was flying through Dorian the other night, and it was pretty cool, man. That full motion simulator was tearing him up. It was shaking the hell out of him. But I like watching Nico. He's a character, man. But who can afford a full motion simulator? He's got over $2 million in that thing. Yeah, Nico. Crap. What is his? DAL 213 is his Twitch channel, and he's live right now. But you can't leave me, so you have to wait. D is in dog, A is in alpha, L is in Lima, 213. That's his Twitch channel. Oh, it's got a commercial. It's going to take a little bit to load up, but I'll turn on the visible satellite while we got it with the radar at the same time. That's what you're looking at here. Yeah, Nico is really fun to watch with that full motion simulator because he's got a camera that's pointing at the back of the simulator, which is a actual cockpit from a Boeing 737. And naturally, he's got an inside camera, and it's exactly the same as being in the pilot seat of a real jet. Something like $2.5 million he paid for that. It was bugged. I don't know why. Maybe it's because my version of FSX is pretty much the original, but yours looks so much different. Hey, thanks for the host. And I don't have Active Sky and any of those add-ons. Is he flying through Dorian now? I'm running it as 64-bit though. I went into the settings file, but it doesn't like my extra monitors. I can't have. See, a lot of my monitors are plugged in to the USB ports with adapters, and FSX does not like that. You can see on the bottom right there, that's the camera on the back of his simulator, or showing his simulator. You can see how things moving around. He's getting ready to run into some really strong turbulence. But Branding Iron, my FSX, I don't have any of the cool aftermarket stuff on it. But I noticed your menus and everything look different. Yeah, I kind of checked out X-Plane, but I haven't even. I've got it installed, but I just haven't had time to play with the simulator. Oh yes, I do, Ken. I used to have it, and it sucked. But it was cool at the time. So what you're looking at there is Hurricane Dorian, visible satellite with radar on top of it, so you can see where all the bands are. Now I'll turn the radar off. You can see that eye. It's really trying to clear itself out at times, but then it fills back in. Now let's take a look at the infrared, and it's going to flicker till it loads up everything. But look all the dark stuff that's going around the eye. Those are strong thunderstorms. The darker the color, the stronger those storms are. And I tell you what, let's zoom out. There is, I think, 7 areas to watch right now. We've got all kinds of stuff happening uh, in the Pacific, mostly in the Atlantic. It's really firing up. Yeah, if you get the aftermarket add-ons, oh gosh, it does get expensive. And a good friend of mine that I storm chased with back in 2015, he's got a really nice setup, multiple monitors, not as good as Nico's, but you know he's got the yoke, the radio panel. He bought the good stuff. Not as good as Nico's, but he's got the whole dash and everything. So I want to switch to water vapor. Let's take a look at what's happening all around Dorian. And I'll put it in motion. It's going to flicker so I get everything loaded up. But I like looking at water vapor on the satellite. And the reason why is you can see what's going on in the atmosphere. I can find where the jet stream is most of the time. And I can see where the highs and everything is. Oh, that's cool, Brandon 9. I was going to mention Nico anyway today. So if you notice, way up here is the low pressure systems. You can tell it's spinning counterclockwise. But notice right here, that's spinning clockwise. Let me go to screen mode. So we got a high. My high symbol go. Well, I got to get out of studio mode. Here we go. See how that's spinning clockwise? And you can see my high symbol. That's a high pressure. So that's trying to shove up on Dorian. And I do believe that's what's keeping it from going northeast. Gosh, I got to get my mouth trained better. If that high was to scoot down, which the models were showing wee hours of the morning, it was showing this high was going to swoop down. And if it did, it would send this thing northeast. But up here where it's at now, it's kind of making it hug that shore. So that's just one of the steering mechanisms. Now, if you watch on the right side or left side or west side of Dorian, you can kind of see where the trough is coming down. See up here? I'll pause this a minute. Watch these clouds here as they're coming down, and it's not showing up. Hang on. Try this again. So we got these clouds coming down like this. That's the jet stream. That's that trough I was talking about. But really don't see where it's dipping down here, and it should be going up like that. but I'm not, when I put it back in motion here, I'm not seeing the moisture here trying to turn northeast. Now, if that jet stream did actually do one of these numbers, it would start going northeast as well instead of northeast. So the trough hasn't quite got down there where it should be. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool watching water vapor mode because you can see so much of what's going on. And then I use infrared a lot, and I'll stop this to watch these coming off of Africa, which there's several of these we got to keep an eye on. But I watch these tropical waves as they come off the west coast of Africa. Now we do have this one right in here that I'm going to have to keep a close eye. I'll show you why. Let me switch to let me update this page here. This one here I'm not too worried about. But this next one, look where that cone is. Where's it going to go? Could it take the same track as Dorian? It's a possibility. It's a tropical wave right now. But I'm going to have to keep a close eye on that. 20% over 2 days, 60% over a 5 day of turning into something. This one's got a real low chance. It's only 10-10. And if it does anything, I think that high pressure will steer it away. This one did have a cone on it yesterday. Now it's dropped down. It's only a 10-10. 10 in 2 day, 10% in 5 day. And besides, that's going to go away. And the reason why is this high. You can tell by where those cones are and the direction that they're going is because of that high. Now, we did have an area over here that went into Mexico as a tropical storm. It is totally fizzled out. It went to down to a depression, and earlier it was just showing remnants of a depression, and now it's died. Totally gone. Again, if you're just joining me, thank you. Here's your latest information on Hurricane Dorian. Still Cat 2, winds at 110, pressure at 958, northeast at 8 miles per hour. When is it going to go northeast? I don't know. And the webcam is from the Frying Pan Tower off the coast of North Carolina. I tell you what, folks, I'm going to take a little break. I will leave this running. I'm going to try to leave this running all day. I'm going to take a few minute break here, do a little pause for the cause, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Thank you for being patient. I see I lost quite a few people. Got to make some adjustments here. I had to go check on one of my neighbors. He's real bad diabetic, and he's been on the pump, and it got to where his body is no longer absorbing the insulin, and he's been in really bad shape. And he just got back from the doctors, and he's having to do the shots again because his body just quit absorbing the insulin through the skin, no matter where he puts the pods. So he told him to take the pods and stick them until they come up with an answer. Uh, he has totaled out 2 cars in the last couple of years from going into diabetic comas. That bad. So he's doing good. He's got his sugar down to 125, and he's doing good. Hey, we got another tornado warning in South Carolina, or North Carolina, excuse me. Go take a look at where it's at. I'm not really seeing any rotation in it. Possible tornado spotted near Lewis and Gray Road in Vanceboro. Now let's load up some history. And it's not letting me. I'll reload the radar here. $200,000 without power? Wow. Okay. That radar site is not putting out any level 2 data anymore. Or there it comes. Slowly. So I was wrong about that tornado warning. It's down here. That was a earlier one. But it's part of one of those outer bands. I'm not seeing any real strong rotation on it. I'm not seeing the rotation that they're talking about. Weird. This is down around Hope Mills, just outside of Hope Mill. But apparently it must be where the inbound and outbound winds are. Yeah, it does have a nice NROT signature, which stands for normalized rotation. So it's right in there. No debris signature. It's rain wrapped anyway. There's a little bit of a knot. A little bit of a donut hole. That's probably where it's at. So let's go back to visible satellite here. And again, if you're just joining and didn't know this, those green boxes that are popping up there, those are flash flood warnings. Now, this is a 3-hour satellite loop. The red boxes are tornado warnings, and the light blue is small craft marine advisory. And all those pink lines, that's tornado watch. That's all the areas that are in a tornado watch. Turn the satellite off a minute and you can see here. All the pink outline counties, that's tornado watch. And we're going to be seeing this all night long. These outer bands are always known to produce quick spin up tornadoes. So as of that 3 o'clock advisory, which I should be getting a 4 o'clock advisory here pretty quick. We'll see if anything changes. Because they have these hurricane warnings out all up the coast, is the reason why they are doing hourly updates. But that's usually just tweaking, the information on the hurricane. The major update will be in about another hour. That's where they'll update the cone and all the other major information. Well, a little walk out around my apartment building didn't help my back all that much. I was trying to get a ride to get down and buy me a back brace, um, but I couldn't get a ride today. Now, if you watch that eye on the satellite loop, look how that thing's headed. Now, it is wobbling a little bit. Those wobbles bother me. Looks like the eye itself might miss Myrtle Beach. But irregardless, they're going to be getting, if, and I think they already are, the hurricane force winds. If not, they're real close. Need to switch my radar up to Wilmington, and we'll take a look at it. And I may have to raise the tilt on it. Here's the radar off of Wilmington. Try changing the tilt. Because it's awful strange. It's got that blank area in there. That close to the eye. Doesn't make sense. Well, raising altitude of the beam. The radar might be getting, or it might be the eye is getting too close to the radar site. Sometimes we'll see that. You can see the streaks here. I think that eye is actually getting way too close. So let's switch. See if I can find. There's Jennifer. She's up there by Whiteville. Columbia is going to be too far away. All other radar sites are going to be too far away. Okay, the 4 o'clock is in. Not anything changed, except for now they're saying location about 55 miles south-southeast of Myrtle Beach. All the other information is the same. So none of this information has changed. Still a Cat 2, 110 mile per hour winds. Pressure at 958 millibars. Northeast at 8. I wish it would go northeast. But at this point, I think it might make landfall if it doesn't change on the direction. Southport is going to get landfall. And I can measure that from the center of the eye to Southport is only 62 miles away from the center of the eye. But actually, the way it's wobbling, it's kind of hard to tell. It might get Myrtle Beach. Hey, notice the, let's take a look at the webcam. Look at the waves. They've changed direction. Although the angle of the flag has not changed, but the waves are actually changing direction. Boy, you guys got quiet in the chat. What, did I put y'all to sleep? Don't y'all start snoring. Okay, Mons. And another tornado warning just popped up. So now we got 2 in North Carolina, one in Wilson County and the other one in Cumberland. Okay, we got this one up by Wilson. And I'm getting delayed information or data from the Raleigh, North Carolina radar site. I don't like that when that starts happening. Let me switch radars and then go back and see if I can get it to reload. So we got this one that's up by Hope Mills. And that does have rotation. It's not real strong, but you see the red and the green. That's some weak broad rotation. Not a very good NROD. Still trying to download data. So let's go back up on this other tornado warning. When you look at it on radar, the ice still looks pretty good. It is losing a little bit. Okay, the area of concern for this tornado warning is right there. There is a decent NROT signature on it. No debris signature. Let's take a slice through that area. Yeah, it doesn't look all that good. Let's bring it up in 3D. Not seeing a whole lot of good rotation. It's really on the low level. These are the velocities. See how it's flat? Green, red, green, red. That's horizontal rotation. So we won't worry about that one. So let's go back to the other one. Whoops. Go back to the one down here. This one they'll probably drop pretty quick. You can see the motion of where it's headed. We'll look at velocities. It doesn't look that good. It's a quick spin up on a leading edge, and you'll see that a lot. Like when you get a bow echo on a severe storm front, when it bows out, you'll see these, the large green area, which is going towards the radar, red's going away, and you'll get these quick spin ups on the kink. And that's what that's doing. That's probably going to get dropped because it doesn't look all that good at all. So yeah, the eye on the satellite view, it isn't as clear. Notice at the beginning of this 3-hour loop, you can see down to the ocean, but then it starts filling in. And it's probably weakening. As I was saying the last several days, the further north it gets along that coast, the cooler the waters. So the cooler the water, the less umph it's going to receive from the upflow from the warm waters. So it'll start weakening. And I expect that to happen sometime over the next several hours. It'll start to weaken. And it's probably going to speed up. That's what the cone was kind of showing in the models, is that it is going to start speeding up eventually. Now, if it makes landfall up here in Wilmington, then it's going to weaken a lot once it gets over land. But looking at radar, I'm going to measure from the center of the eye to Southport is 58 miles, and I'm getting delayed data from that radar site, so it's starting to get affected. From Wilmington, I got 81 miles. But still, the winds are still strong enough for the storm surge. Cape Hatteras, they're expecting up to 7 feet of storm surge. And they're still expecting another 3 to 5 inches of rain. Now, the next high tide should be, I think, around 2 o'clock in the morning. We're already past, 2 hours past our last high tide. But still, that storm surge, up to 7 feet. Myrtle Beach is getting it. I haven't looked at anybody's stream lately. See who we got. Now this is Michael Koch. If I can get it up. Gotta wait for a commercial, and then I'll put it up on the screen for you. And we now have another tornado warning. Craven County. What was that? Pamelico County. Carteret. Okay. Take a look at Michael Koch. And it looks like he's right close to Southport. And we have another one that just popped up. It is a TOR for Wilson County. So now we have one reported on the ground. And we're going to have these, folks, all night long. There's a lot of low-level shear that's going to cause these quick spin-ups. I'm not seeing a well-defined debris signature. So it's probably a fairly weak tornado. Actually, where I'm seeing the area rotation is not even where the storm is. But I'm starting to get a lot of delayed radar data, folks. I'm only getting partial data at times. Yeah, Patty. I get them as soon as they come up. Yeah, well, they do too. They're using the same service and the same programs that I use. They just ain't talking about it. Yeah, I know. That's. I wish they'd hire me as a producer. I'm on the Raleigh. I'm on the Raleigh radar, Ken, but I'm still getting delayed data. I'm getting partial data because where I see the rotation is not where the storm is. The storm has already moved, but it's still showing rotation where it's just light rain. Yeah, I'd make a good weather producer. Don't have to be a meteorologist for that. Yeah, I know they tend to do that. That's just par for the course. When it comes to people lives, I don't, you know, I want to stay more serious. I don't want to be down, but I don't want to be happy. I know I was on Wilmington for the other tornado warning, the one down by Wilson, or not Wilson, the one that was down there. That's they've already dropped the one that I was looking at. It was the one down there at south of Fayetteville. Oh, thanks, Patty. I try. Okay, for anybody just joining me, here is the latest info, the latest up to date info. I got to do something real quick. I'll be back in about 2 minutes. I won't be gone long. Okay. Is this a real hurricane? You better believe it, Drake. Crazy person, you. How you doing, bud? Drake is one of our storm chasers. I know you're joking. I never take you serious, man. Uh, been battling the flu. I'm doing a little bit better with the flu, but having a lot of back problems. So it's really hard for me to sit up for very long. But this hurricane is draining me. Well, I was trying to be nice, Michelle. By the way, the camera view that you see on this screen, this is from our extreme storm chaser, Michael Koch. Yeah, I'm about over this thing. I'll be glad when this thing goes out uh, and gets over with. I could use some much needed rest till the next one comes, and we do have another area to watch that could possibly be taking the same track as it comes across the ocean. Yeah, Michael Koch, he is an extreme storm chaser. I mean, he'll go where I wouldn't. I've got him real close to Southport. He's just a little north. Which, if you look at that radar on the upper left of the screen, you'll see this point and then a red dot just north of that point. That's his beacon. His and Nicholas Isabella. Oh, his stream? I'll share the link. Weather going wild. And if you want to use multi stream, you can watch both of us. Thanks, Michelle. There's the multi stream link where you can watch both of us. And you can switch from one chat to the other. It's really cool. You can change the layout. I really like that feature. You can either have it side by side, up and down, however you want it. Yeah, those are some really kicking waves. And that's the surge coming in. Those winds are coming out of the east, right there at Southport. So if you're just joining us, I notice my follower viewer count has went up. There is the latest information on Hurricane Dorian. Still a Cat 2, winds at 110, pressure at 958, north northeast at 8 miles per hour. Oh, that's Myrtle Beach? Cool. Thank you. So let's see what I could do here. I need to make a new scene. Just hang tight, folks. Oh, I'll do this later. We'll go back to the webcam. Actually, let's go back to the screen here. A little bit later, I'll make a scene that shows different cams along with the information. But I don't want to start putting too much up on the screen, because for people who are using small tablets or their phones, it'll be harder for them to see and be able to read the information. Right now, Myrtle Beach is really getting the surge. Yeah, that's the only one that's streaming right now, Drake, is Michael Koch, Weather Going Wild. I think Jen is still traveling. She's been having trouble with the capture card or something. Yeah, Weather Going Wild, that's Michael Koch. And I got Jen up there by Whiteville. But I know yesterday she was having some issues with her capture card. For some reason, it keeps freezing. And I've got the same one, and I've never had any issues. So Brady got a hold of me last night about it. So I know Becky said when Jennifer got stopped, she'd work on it and try to get her stream up. Did I miss a question? Wonder how the wild horses on the outer islands. Oh, I forgot all about that. I think the last hurricane uh, that hit that little island where them wild horses are, a lot of them swam. They swam away and got on higher ground. Yeah, I know. Poor Jen. She works hard at it though. She don't give up. Man, I wish this thing would turn a little bit more. It's north northeast. It's still headed. It wobbles. It could make landfall in Myrtle Beach, but if it keeps going the way it is, it's going to go right for Southport. And the radar that I'm using is just to the west of Southport, and that radar will probably get knocked out. Couldn't get the chat to work on multi-stream. I've never had problem. Yeah, Jen and Sharon together when Jen was down in Florida. Those two were hilarious. They were having way too much fun. That's the first time I've ever seen Sharon, and I've known her for several years. I knew her before SVL, and that's the first time I ever seen her on camera. I'll be darned. Yeah, she's funny. She's a horse lover. Anybody that loves horses is a good person. They're okay in my book. Okay, Molly. Yeah, Sharon used to have some horses. You wanted to go home, huh? Boy, now they're talking about those tornado warnings on the Weather Channel. Finally, they're going to be quick spin ups. And if you haven't taken shelter up there in those areas of North Carolina by now, you really should, because these outer bands are just going to continue to bring those quick spin ups along the leading edge of those bands, and they're going to be happening all night. Right now, I have one Tor R there at Wilson County. I've got a tornado warning for Johnson County, and that Carteret or Carteret, however you say it, Craven, those counties up in there. One for Dublin, Jones, Lenore, and it looks like Onslow or Oslo County. I can't read it. Onslow County. Oh, excuse me. Still ain't got that all the way out of my chest. Doggone it. So things for Charleston should be looking a lot better. The side of the hurricane that they're on, the winds should be pushing the water out to sea now. So that'll allow those two rivers to drain. Thank goodness. I knew some of the flooding was horrendous. One thing I do want to take a look at that I forgot about is the power outage page. Looks like South Carolina, 240,797 without power. And there's the key areas that are without power right now. Now, if you would like to look at this website, it's poweroutage.us. There's the link. I think my chat's messing up. I might need to do a reboot for long. I'm going to keep this up as long as I can, but I'm starting to see some things act a little funny. There's a Earth Cam from Myrtle Beach. Doc, some of these webcams and that, I didn't find them. You guys are finding them and sharing them. But that power outage, I've had that for a couple of years. That's a really nice site to have. And there's Michael Koch's stream. I try to save every time I find something. I try to save it. Now again, this is from up around Southport. Let's see, is that Cape Fear? I know it's close to Carolina Beach. Hey, thanks for the new follow. That red dot there on your screen, right there, that's where Michael Koch is. Appreciate all the new follows, folks, and all the bits and subs and donations that you all give me. Really helps me out. It keeps me coming to you. I live on disability, so all this comes out of my pocket. I don't get paid for none of this. I wish I did. Yeah, that's the only place Emily will live stream is on Facebook. Thank you for the new follow. Wonder what my follower count is. We'll have to do a double dance if y'all keep it up. Ooh, 1061, and I don't think that's updated all the way yet. I'm not gonna worry about my 1,000 follower dance until this hurricane's over with, and then I'll put something up. Thank you, Patty. All my spare energy is being spent on this hurricane, so y'all want to see a dance, you're gonna wait. Now, if I was down there on the beach and where Koch is and watching them huge waves, I would get out there and dance as long as the wind didn't blow me over. But since I'm sitting here at home, here in Southwest Ohio, I'd have to get out in front of my security camera to do it. Because I don't have anybody here to hold a camera that I can trust. Do a Jim Cantori. Yeah, I'm too tall for that. Well, yeah, I know. I'm just trying to make excuses why I can't do it. Besides the way I'm set up, um, I'm sitting on the edge of my bed because everything wraps around my bed. Because this is where I spend almost all my time. Oh no, Molly, it wouldn't be a Cantori. It'd be a Seidel slide. Now Becky told me I'm not allowed to do a setting dance. She said that's against the rules. But the Seidel slide, Mike Seidel from the Weather Channel, he's got this stance and this slide, and he got busted last year. He was standing at a yard close to the camera, and the wind was real strong coming between the buildings. But he was over exaggerating, and he made it, he was really leaning into it. And in the background, there was these two guys just walking calmly down the sidewalk on the other side of the street. Wasn't windy a bit. So I started nicknaming that the Seidel slide. And Tori's got the shovel. Started to lose my voice a little bit. I may have to quit talking here for a little bit. Yeah, I think I will. Oh, doggone it. Yeah, I'll do an update at 5 o'clock. I'll leave this running though. Folks, please stay tuned. Stay with me for the latest up to date daggone it, information. I'm going to take a little pause, and but I'll leave the stream running. I appreciate that. And give me about 20 minutes or so, and I'll see if one of my neighbors has got a shot of whiskey. Be back in a little bit. Okay, folks. No such luck. Nobody that's home has got a shot of whiskey that I could take to clear my throat. So there is an update. Let me get y'all caught up to date here. I want to switch back over to radar. Uh, it has dropped down to 105 Cat 2. So it's dropped 5 miles per hour. Yeah, when I got choked and I coughed, something popped in my larynx and it hurt. Okay, pressure is up. It has turned northeast. Yeah, northeast at 10. Let me get the information up to date here. Gotta update my screens. So give me just a sec. So it only went up 2 millibars to 960. So it's 105 mile per hour wind, pressure at 960, and now it's moving northeast at 10 miles per hour. So, like I said last night, it was going to start speeding up. But man, is this thing taking so long to make that northeast turn? All this time over the last 12 or so hours, it's been going northeast. Well, north first, head northeast, and now it's turned northeast. But the eye is so close to the coast now. There's your updated information on the screen. I still got to update the ticker yet, so hang tight. It's still Cat 2. It's not quite as strong as it was. See, so we're at 105, 960, northeast at 10. Okay, save. So now the ticker on the bottom of your screen should be up to date. By the way, I see Michael Koch is on the move. So let's go over to the Earth Cam. And that webcam there is Myrtle Beach. Has anybody see if Jen is streaming yet? I see Jen's down there. Well, I've got two beacons. I don't know which one's the right one. But I think she's down there by that radar site, which is west of Southport. Okay, thanks, Patty. That information is the latest as of 5 o'clock. Yeah, the Weather Channel's been showing John Humphreys, which he streams somewhere else. But that was his stream of the pier there at Myrtle Beach. Which this camera that I'm showing you, I think it's north, or no, that would be south. I think it's south of that pier. But actually, well, Myrtle Beach is getting real close to the eye wall, or I should say the eye wall. It's getting real close to Myrtle Beach. We switch radars here. Oh yeah. Yeah, the hurricane force winds are right there close to Myrtle Beach. And I see I lost a few viewers when I took a break. Some didn't stay with me. Okay, Doc. That's funny, Doc. The Berry Boogie. that's that's hilarious. Thanks, man. You're crazy. Uh, Problem solved. Make that into a GIF so it's got motion in it. Let me do something here. Oh boy, my computer's running slow. Almost getting time to reboot. This is what Doc just sent me. Oh, doing a berry boogie. Oh, it's so fun. See if that frying pan cam. Yep. Oh, look at that flag. It's starting to shred. Hey, Rick. And the waves have changed direction again. Tell you guys what I might do here in a little bit. Not just yet, but I might shut her down for a little bit and come back at 8 o'clock. Yeah, it's starting to tear. It's starting to shred. Before this storm is done with it, it'll be gone. Yeah, Larrington, the last time I streamed that cam shot until the camera got knocked out. Ain't that awesome? So anybody just joining me, I'm losing my voice, but it's still a Cat 2, 105 miles per hour winds. The pressure has went up to 960. By the way, the winds have dropped 5 mile per hour. And now it has made that northeast turn at 10 miles per hour. So, God, look at those waves. You would not want to be on a boat. Believe me, those waves are huge. They're larger than what they look like on the webcam. Poor flag. They buy a lot of flags for out there. So that's the latest information I have. It still, I think, might make landfall at Southport, even though it's turned northeast. There's the latest information. They're on the radar. That point that sticks out there, that's Southport. So I think it's going to make landfall up there. Especially if you watch that radar. Let me switch to that. Y'all can see it a little bit better. Especially at the tail end of that radar loop, you can see it's headed right for Southport. So that should be our next landfall. Okay, folks, that's your latest information on Hurricane Dorian. As the eye is near Myrtle Beach, but headed for Southport, I'm going to go ahead and give my computer a rest, shut her down, and reboot it. And I will bring it back up around 8 o'clock for the next update. So thank you all for watching me. I'm going to rest my voice a little bit. I don't want to totally lose it. Not yet. So thanks for all the bets and earlier I did get a tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. So whoops. I did that the other day. I hit the wrong scene. So I'm going to go ahead and rest my voice, let the computer rest. See y'all around 8 o'clock for that next update. Thank you for joining me. We'll catch you on the next broadcast.